Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soren Review. And today we're going to be recapping the NASCAR second Talladega race for the Cup Series. It's been a while since we've last been on YouTube, but taking a bit short hiatus. However, that doesn't mean that NASCAR has not had its fair share of controversy and action within the last few weeks. Um, I have not talked about the tire issues that happened at Texas last week. The main thing about safety in these NASCAR next gen cars and how that has been a talk lately after Alex Bowman had his concussion. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're well aware of all that. So I mainly just want to talk about the race itself today. And the race itself today was arguably very exciting. It was something that I did not expect to happen. It followed the trends of this weekend, and I'm just surprised, right? The truck race didn't have a big one. It had some wrecks and it had a chaotic finish, but it didn't have the big one. The Xfinity race didn't have a wreck at all, other than Ty Gibbs spinning on lap three. But I mean, all the Xfinity cars finished in that race, and then this Cup race had, I guess, a sort of big one about like a 7 car incident, like on lap 25, and that's about it. And we'll get into that. But this race was eventful, but showed that you can have a pretty clean race, and I was pleasantly surprised. However, I was very happy about the way the race went. Um, so the race itself was pretty good. Before we entered the race, right? Noah Gragson filling in for Alex Bowman, Justin Allgaier in that 62 car, and the playoffs, of course, a big factor going into it. Started out pretty clean. Eric Almirola, Ross Chastain, kind of leading the field. Until we got a caution on lap 9 for debris. I believe Ty Dillon's window came out of the car, and they had to replace that. So that was the first caution. Our only multi-car wreck of the day happened on lap 25 when Harrison Burton was being pushed by rookie Stenhouse Jr. and Burton got churned and collected himself along with some other cars. Joey Logano, Noah Gragson, Justin Haley was involved. Ty Gibbs was also involved. It only took out 2 cars. It only took out Harrison Burton and Ty Gibbs out of the race, and so that wreck happened. Everyone else seemed to be okay. I think the only car it kind of affected was Justin Allgaier. He was up in that lead pack up until that wreck, and then he just couldn't hold the draft. Ended up finishing 2 laps down. So Justin Allgaier probably also had damage from that wreck as well. We did have another crash in stage 1. Corey LaJoy, who was running in a secondary pack, which we saw a lot of today, and that kind of screwed up a lot of the some drivers' plans, particularly two that it really messed up their plans for a good finish. But Corey LaJoy blew a tire and hit the wall pretty hard in turn 2, ended his day. Um, and the stage 1 finish was pretty good. It was a narrow photo finish between Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. Stage 2 went completely green. I believe the only thing is Christopher Bell on a green flag pit stop spun out. But he actually ends up recovering to finish in 17th place position. What's important to know, right? 27 cars finished on the lead lap, and of those 27, of the 37, my mistakes entered into this race, 33 finished. So a lot of cars finished this race, and that's mainly because we didn't have many wrecks. And it looked like stage 3 was going to go all the way to the end as well, though a caution was 6 to go because Daniel Hemrick stalled on pit road, brought out the caution. He was at the end of pit road. That was the issue. And so they had to call the caution. However, during stage 3, we had a lot of different guys up front. For example, up front for The end of the race, I mean, Ryan Blaney and Ross Chastain versus Eric Jones and Michael McDowell. Jones and McDowell on the bottom, Blaney getting pushed by Chastain on the second line. They were just going back and forth. That was the whole third stage, and that was such a great battle for the lead. And I think that's what made this race so good. Is it wasn't just single file like a lot of people. I didn't think it was going to go single file for the race today. I really didn't. I think if the uh, safety concerns are like in the Xfinity or Truck Series, then I could see us going single file. But the cars are not going to do that, and it was just really interesting to see how everybody did. There was a lot of guys though up front that stayed up front for a majority, and the top 10 basically is the top 10 of the entirety of stage three, right? Michael McDowell, Todd Gillen, um, Daniel Suarez, Cindric, Briscoe, they were up in the top 10 for a majority of the time. So was Chase Elliott. This top 10, because we didn't really have wrecks and the overtime finish was pretty tame in terms of not having people fall out of the lead, that was this top 10 is really reflective of the stage three running order. So we go through your running order. Chase Elliott wins the race. He made a move with two to go to get past Ryan Blaney. Eric Jones was pushing Chase Elliott like hell, and off turn number four, or enter through 3 and 4, Ryan Blaney chose not to block Chase Elliott. It allowed Chase Elliott to get to his outside. Jones was pushing Elliott, and it looked like Jones was going to try to make it 3 wide. I think that's what his plan was, but he didn't have any run. He ended up falling to 6, as you see. Ryan Blaney in second place position. Uh, Man, you gotta hate it for Ryan Blaney. He gave that win away, and because Blaney does not win it, that ends the streak of Team Penske winning a Talladega race since 2014. Blaney had the opportunity, but he couldn't take advantage of it. Michael McDowell in third, a great run for him. Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, top five. Jones, six. Todd Gillen, I'm not sure that's his best career finish. I'll have to check up on that, but a great run for Todd Gillen. He was phenomenal today. If I had to give anybody the driver of the day, or underdog of the day, Todd Gillen deserves it, in my opinion. What a performance by Todd Gillen. Daniel Suarez and eighth, Cindric, Briscoe round out the top 10, right? Those playoff drivers in need of points. They get a nice top 10. Not on there, Landon Castle finishes 11th in a Spire car. He actually kept up with the pack, unlike some of the normal back markers. So a phenomenal job by Landon Castle. Other playoff drivers, William Byron finishes in 12th. Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson finish in 17th and 18th. And I want to bring up two guys, one playoff, one not. Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. Joey Logano was up front for the first stage. Martin Truex Jr. ran no better than 25th all day. Both of those guys were in hopes of not of cars wrecking. It never happened, and they both really struggled. Logano loses points to the cutoff line, so unfortunate for that. Tyler Reddick in 28th. I also want to mention him. He was up front in contention for the stage 2 win on the last lap. Tire or fuel runs out for Reddick. He could never recover. Two other drivers, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick. Keselowski in 24th, Harvick in 29th. Both of those guys were up front for a majority of the first half of the race, but on green flag pit stops, I believe the final green flag pit stops of the day, they both sped. Harvick finishes one lap down in 29th. Keselowski does finish on the lead lap, but just could not get back up to the front of the field. So overall, it was a solid race. Not too many cars crashed out, and I'm happy. I'm glad that it wasn't a total uh, wreck fest like Daytona. It was something that I'm glad we could avoid without too many crashes, especially with these next gen concerns for safety. But we'll go past this. We still need to fix the next gen, no doubt. But glad this went cleaner than how it could have. We go to the Roval next week. It's going to be absolutely nuts. As for the point standings, Right now, Chase Elliott, the only one locked into the round of 8. Ryan Blaney plus 32. Ross Chastain plus 28, Denny Hamlin plus 21, Logano plus 18, Larson plus 18. Those drivers I would say are safe as long as they don't wreck early. Daniel Suarez plus 12. He's going to need a good run. And then everybody else. Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, 8th and ninth, tied right now. Briscoe wins that tiebreaker. I don't want Chase Briscoe to make it to the next round because I don't think he's the most deserving driver to make it to the next round, but it'll be really interesting if he can even make it to the next round. William Byron, a minus 11. He'll need a okay run. He was solid though last year here. And then Christopher Bell minus 33 and Alex Bowman minus 54. Both need to win if they want to have a chance at the round of 8. So tell me what you think in the comments below or at me at Twitter at Review Soren. This was a nuts race. I have no idea what to even say. Remember, you can use code Soren72 at checkout on Circle B Diecast to get $5 off your shipping on all orders $30 or more. That's code Soren72. That's going to do it, though. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and goodbye.